Well, I think the key to engage people in science topics is really to focus on problems that are relevant for them. So as is the case in our Open Science Hub Portugal Center, we really focus on local challenges of the area of influence in which we are based at. And the idea is really to tackle either problems or try to understand which are the opportunities of the territory and then develop science, technology and innovation projects around them. So I would say that the answer to this question is really to try to understand what is relevant to the target group and then focus the projects on that. Well, this was not my idea. I actually just joined the project in June this year, so it's very recent. So it's part of a bigger network, which is called Open Science Hub, and we are actually the first center. The coordinator of the network is Pedro Russo. He's the international coordinator. Is based in Leiden. But actually, I joined the project because the project matches a lot of what I want to do as a science educator, social innovator, in the sense that it actually focuses the students and focuses the problems that you have in a community and tries to really engage the population in STEAM through these projects that the students, the community, and the stakeholders create together. So basically, it was not my idea originally, but I had always the goal to work in something like this, so that's why I joined the project. Well, I would have to say that since the moment I started working in this project, what surprised me the most is really that I think from the idea that I had in the beginning is that when you gather with the stakeholders and you try to understand what are their concerns and how would they solve a certain problem, everything would make it easier, because then you brainstorm with different groups and then you always think that maybe it would be easier to find a solution for the problem. But it's actually not that it's not making it easier, it's just that it's a slow process as well, because the project is a very participatory one, and because it's a co-creative process. And because of this, it's also a slower process, because you make sure that you are really addressing everyone's ideas and that the solution that everyone comes up in the end is really a solution from everyone and not only my solution. I think really what I would say is that, for example, now we are really applying the open schooling concept in a discipline at school, and the idea is really to put the students thinking about the local challenges and trying to come up with these ideas by themselves. And because we are working with different age groups, of course they have their own needs and they have their own basis of really thinking about these problems. So I would say that, that is at the moment the biggest challenge, to really make sure that we are respecting their time to really think about these problems and try to understand what they want to address, and at the same time try to keep it like a systematic process and a continuous one, and also that we are going to be able to finish it by the end of the school year. So I would say that the first one, and maybe the most important one, is to really understand the context in which you are working at. So I think in my case it was really important from the moment that I arrived in the town where the center is based to try to understand what's the potential that you have in this town, what are the opportunities that you have for development and innovation, what are the problems that you have there, and by doing this you really understand the entire context of the project as a whole. So I would say that that's the first one. The second one, I would have to say that it's really finding the stakeholders that will help you achieve the solutions to overcome these problems. And then the third would be really maybe try to make sure that you always respect that the challenges that you are addressing are really identified by the students, and that these challenges are relevant for them, so that they feel engaged in the project, and that in the end we are actually going to contribute to make them more active citizenships and more concerned about science and technology and innovation, and really more active in life in general.